There's a lot of back doors into your computer that has your information on it while you're on your home Wi-Fi network. And, if your kid has a smart device that's connected to that Wi-Fi and they fall for some scam, well, that's a backdoor to your information as well as those. That's considering adult information that's in their proximity.
Welcome back to another episode of Unsecurity Podcast. I'm here with my friends from work, Coral and Cory, today. Brad is not able to join us. He had something else to take care of today. So just me, outnumbered by my guests, but I am very glad to have them, and I'm glad to not be doing this all by myself. So thank you guys for being here.
Of course.
Happy to help.
Coral, I know we had you not that long ago, but do you want to give a short introduction of yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So Coral Morgan, I'm an information security consultant here at FRSecure. I've been an employee with FRSecure for coming up on 4 years, I think. It's been fantastic. Prior to that, I did everything from system administration to incident response work. I have all sorts of stories. In total, I think I'm creeping up on like 20 plus years in IT and security, which is a lot. And I feel a little bead of sweat as I say that, because I'm like, I didn't realize that it was that long ago. But yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you. It's amazing how those years add up.
Yeah.
Cory, how about yourself? Can you give us a short intro?
Hey, I'm Cory Hanks. I'm an incident response case manager, or blue teamer, which essentially means we get the bad guys out once they've gotten in. And I've been doing this for about 5.5 years. Before that, I did about 13 years of like network admin, sysadmin. I built a network operations center and hired that up for 2 locations on opposite sides of the globe. So that was a big learning experience. Yeah, now we find ourselves here.
Great. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Yeah, today we should have a good conversation because I'm looking forward to digging in on it. We just recently released a couple blogs on security or educating kind of our non-workforce members. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But before we do, we'll start off with hobbies or things outside of work. Either of you want to start out?
I can go ahead and start. Hobbies, I don't have a whole lot right now. I have 4 kids between the ages of 8 and 14. Right now, it's all kid activities. That's all life is right now. With the holidays coming up quick, right now is pretty much taken over by Nutcracker performances. So I've got 2 girls that will dance in performances in mid-December here. So that's pretty much taking up our time right now.
Yep, that'll keep you busy.
Yeah.
How about you, Cory?
Yeah, so I'm a Big Brothers Big Sisters volunteer. I hang out with my little about once a week. And I'm also a session bass player, so you can see on video if you're Coral and Megan, but I got my basses hanging behind me. I've got some sessions coming up, recording for other people. I've also got a documentary that's being shot this week and an album release that's coming at the end of next month that I'll be playing at. There's 4 shows in between. It's a lot for me at the moment, but that's good. I've not played music like this since I was on the road back in probably 2019.
That's amazing.
That's super cool.
If anyone wants to check out your music, is there somewhere they should look or some way they should look you up, or are you going to keep it a secret?
Yeah, you can check out the album that's about to come out is Jeremy Zeller and the Other Side, and it is called The Soundtrack for Healing. So that'll be coming hopefully around New Year's. And then past projects, you can look up those Crosstown Rivals, the Jettisons, Brian Combs. Yeah, that's enough for now.
Megan, do you have a bird?
Guinea pigs, worse. They always want to fight when I'm podcasting.
I love it.
I'm looking over there, and I think there are 3 guinea pigs currently lumped under one blanket, so I might have to break them up in a little bit. That's the one downside to having a more professional mic. It picks up more stuff. Riverside does not block it the way that Teams does, put it that way. I don't know if they edited it out later, but they just sing to us. It's fine. What have I been up to? I had a busy weekend for me anyway. We had a fundraiser dinner for the local meditation center that I joined, so that was fun to join. Brought my daughter along. That was kind of just good activity in the evening. Hung out with a friend. And we're getting very close to getting our black belts. So at least for American Taekwondo Association, though I think they've technically dropped the requirement now, our dojo, whatever you want to call it, still does it, a commitment workout. So my daughter and I, for 4 hours Saturday morning, kicked our own butts, I guess you could say, because we had to do all the things. I am still sore, still recovering. When I get up from any chair, I groan a little bit more. It's getting better. I haven't had to crawl up the stairs, so that's good. I have.
That's good.
I'm just like, oh my god, I can't do this. But yeah, still, so pushed myself good and hard, I guess. So yeah, that's good. We're looking forward to getting our black belts hopefully in just a couple weeks. So
Good.
Sounds
Very
great.
cool. Congratulations.
thank you. Yeah,
Congrats.
we're looking forward to it. And then we'll I don't know, we'll keep at it, but maybe take a little bit of a break for a little bit too. Yeah, so with that, we can kind of jump into our topic at hand, which is, yeah, really talking about, I think it was primarily your blogs are more about like educating and assisting the people outside our workforce. So, Coral, you wrote a blog about supporting our youth prior to employment, and
Yeah.
then Cory about retired people. Like, how do you keep taking care of people when they're not receiving that at in company education support? You don't even have a company protected computer to use. Maybe even, I mean, everybody uses it for, or most people use it for a little bit of home stuff. Hopefully, not too much, but suddenly they have to secure their own devices. They're on their own. They don't have support. Maybe it's even an IT person that they can go to ask for help, to be like, hey, I got this suspicious thing. Should I open it? We can kind of play that around. But yeah, I don't know, Coral, if you want to start us off a little bit with some of what you talked about.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, part of the reason why I wanted to write the blog was exactly that. When we talk about cybersecurity, we're talking mostly for what we do for FRSecure. We're talking to people that are already in the business. They're in the workforce. They pay attention to that stuff. They hear about it. Um, so part of the reason why I wanted to write the blog is because I don't think a lot of people understand just what exactly today's youth has access to and how it affects them. And so that's why I wrote the blog. But I also wanted to make sure that people had an understanding of, some big terms that are floating around that people don't necessarily understand, even from those that are actually in cybersecurity now. I mean, when we talk about digital footprint and digital responsibility, I talk to a lot of people that aren't in cybersecurity, and they're like, a digital what? What does that mean? And so that was part of the reason why I wanted to go ahead and write it. The other reason, too, was just to highlight some of those risks that our youth are facing. Um, when we talk about risks in general for folks, the youth risk is different. Some of the same aspects that we use for helping to prepare our kids and prepare everyone, from youth all the way up to our elderly citizens, that we follow the same path, right? When it comes to say, these are the things that you should do to go ahead and protect yourselves. But some of the risks are different. With kids, it's highly centered on like cyberbullying. And that's what we see like in our school district. Like I said, I have kids between the ages of 8 and 14. And a lot of what they've been exposed to was brought on by force. I think we were talking before we started recording. A lot of what they have access to didn't happen until COVID. So
Mm-hmm.
when COVID happened, it forced everybody to have a device. Our school district didn't have that here. Um, so it was kind of like a security was an after effect or an afterthought. It was like, here, let's make sure that these kids have access to go ahead and continue learning. But it's just been here in the last maybe year or two that they've started just talking about some of those risks and how are we going to go ahead and mitigate those risks.
Yeah, that's a great point. I know even in our own school district, we've heard talk about, I mean, some of it continues through, right? Just that increased exposure to whether it's kind of the availability of things and the access that the kids have to things, and whether it's a school provided device or other adult guardian provided device, like a lot of parents don't know how to sufficiently restrict things. And so then you're
No.
relying on the school, and the school only does so much and goes so far. And whether it's too much screen time or what they're exposed to, how much do you trust those other filters, those other things that don't do a good job? I know just from our own kids, who are 10 and 12 now. I can't believe he's 12. They find their ways around things, and you work with the tools that you can to the best of your ability. And I have a lot more awareness than other parents do. And
Yeah.
some, they're like, well, I don't want my kid doing this, but they don't know how to restrict it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you think about what is on your home network, not necessarily just what kids are interacting with or dealing with, but there's a lot of back doors into your computer that has your information on it while you're on your home Wi-Fi network. And, if your kid has a smart device that's connected to that Wi-Fi and they fall for some scam, well, that's a back door to your information as well as those. That's considering adult information that's in their proximity, not even necessarily their personal information.
Right.
They have completely clear credit reports that are just dying to be
Right.
taken advantage of and had lots of loans taken out in their name.
Yeah. Yeah.
I find too, what was I thinking? Well, yeah, like you said, kind of just all the different kinds of backdoors, whether it's the exposure of the adult's information or the child's too. Because going back to cyberbullying, like you were saying, Coral, like I've been surprised. I think it was second, third grade, my kids figured out how to go on a site and create a username, and all they need is an email address, right? Well, school gives them an email address. So if they have access to that, then they can create just about any account they want. And most of them don't do a credit card balance, like, that 1 cent exchange to verify that you're an adult. They're just like, hey, are you 13? Even sites that are built for kids sometimes don't have those protections. Some of them are better than others, but I know one of the sites that my kids love to use, they're both considered adults because they both bypassed, hey, are you 13 or older?
Yeah. They hit the box.
I was very frustrated because I even tried to email the support team, but it's kind of one of those open source types of projects. They don't have a lot of people. And I'm like, hey, my daughter created this account. Here's her username. She's a minor. She should not have this. She should go through me. And they basically ignored my request. They were like, what? But her account's working. What's the problem? I'm like,
Yeah. You're not helpful. You're not helpful.
no.
You're not helpful.
And so my husband and I have to kind of do our best to manually monitor it, but there's only so much you can do as a parent because she's doing some of the good activities, but there's also chat. And so you don't know, who is she chatting with? Is she working on a project or is she chatting, and who?
Yeah. I've been in cybersecurity for a long time, and I just realized here, I think maybe a couple of weeks ago, that my 14-year-old, she had come to me and she was like, "Oh yeah, I signed up for this online site or whatever, and it was for something for karate base." So we were like, "That's totally fine. Go ahead and sign up." It was for her to be able to sign up and be able to do tournaments moving forward. It's totally fine. In the process of talking to her about how she signed up with it, I was like, what address, what email did you use? And she's like, oh, I used this and I used this password. And I went, what password? And she goes, this one. And I was like, are you using the same password that you've used for a previous account? And she's like, well, yeah, that's the password I use for all my accounts. And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, obviously that's not something that's been taught to you in the school. That's a gap. I'm like, all the more reason to make sure that, we're highlighting that stuff in the blogs that we're writing and doing the podcasts that we're doing and saying, hey, these things are not okay. Don't do these things. And then have those conversations with your kids to make sure that they understand. If they only have one password, that's an easy way into all of their accounts. Don't hit the easy button. So
right.
That's really not even just a thing for kids or for retirees. I mean, that's everybody. Humanity has a lazy thing going on.
It's true.
We were just talking about that in the security news today.
Password managers, those tools, they are worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know we like need those for schools and retirees or just something because yeah, like you were saying, Coral, like they literally teach the kids that bad habit because IT wants to be able to get in and monitor those kid accounts and do
Yeah.
what they need to do. And so they're like, yeah, this is your one password for everything, kids. We know you're not capable of learning more than one password. We're not giving you a password manager to help you do that. So here's what it is. Use
Yeah.
it for everything.
Yeah. And we talked about that too. I mean, in my district, I'm in one of the biggest districts here in Minnesota. We have a lot of devices. We don't have a whole lot of training that goes along with it. With that, our kindergartners are getting devices. So our kindergartners have access to their devices through a email and through a password, but they're taught that to this is what your login is and this is how you're going to use that moving forward. But there's no training that goes along with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad startup process, something that could certainly
Yeah.
be refined just as, a starting point. But that's something that it's actually got me thinking about, retirees, especially retirees now, because in the future it'll be different. But right now, a lot of people who are of the age where they've retired, they either didn't have computers at all before they went into the workspace, and kind of that's how their learning came about to begin with.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's drastically different, but now that they've stepped out of the workforce, it's like it can kind of just be seen as that was something I used to have to worry about. I don't have to worry about
Yeah.
that anymore.
Yeah. But then we know that's not true because you're required to use computers to manage so many things from your financials to your taxes. I know is one my dad's complained about a
Mm-hmm.
lot.
Yeah.
To your health insurance. I mean, at least around here, just about every doctor appointment gets your notes sent into some sort of online platform, and it's unavoidable.
Yeah, and they get all that financial information plugged into their machine, and it's a Windows XP box that they don't need to upgrade because it gets on the internet, and that's all they really need it for.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you have limited income source too, then it's like, how are you going to update that, keep up with that?
Yeah, how do you prioritize a new operating system?
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, my mom is very adamant. She does not want anything to do with logging into anything on a computer. She just doesn't. However, my mom does have social media and she is very much susceptible to, clicking on, "Hey, this looks like something you should check out. Here's one of these sponsored ads," and click. And I'm like, "Stop doing that. You don't need
Sponsored
it.
scams.
You don't need it."
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Um, I mean, she absolutely does not like logging into anything. She doesn't want to even use a debit card at this point, which is fine. That's one way
Hey,
to stay secure. But at the same time, I'm like, who writes a check? Nobody takes a check anymore. What are you going to do?
hey, I've written a couple checks in the last year or so.
Yeah, yeah,
They're coming back.
they're coming back. They're pretty secure, huh?
I guess.
I was surprised when we were going through the process of kind of like fixing up our house and then selling and all of that, that we ran into a few, what do you want to call them? Just service providers that were kind of like, check was the way to go. And they, there's some that have very sophisticated online platforms and they're like, yeah, here, let's process this right here in your driveway, or don't worry about it. We'll text you a link and then you'll pay it through there. And others that are like, I had one that was like, yeah, we'll mail you the invoice and then you can put your check in and you can mail it back as your only option.
Yeah,
Apparently so. Okay.
I would
That's
prefer that to some of the methods of payment out there now.
right.
Yeah. I was
Seriously.
gonna say, how many times do you get a random link sent to you via text message and are you gonna click on it? I won't do that
Yeah,
ever.
No. Yeah.
make a payment, and plenty of
Yeah.
legitimate, collectors will send that to you and expect you to do that. And
Hmm.
not today.
So yeah, Corey, if we shift to the blog you wrote, are there other highlights or tips or things that you want to kind of highlight today for, like you said, we may not have retirees listening in, but definitely family members of
Yeah.
retirees.
Yeah, definitely advice that you can share around the Thanksgiving table.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Simple stuff like avoid public Wi-Fi. There's a lot of default settings that will just connect to Wi-Fi automatically. If you do that, you don't necessarily know what's on the other end that you could be connecting to. So that's a good way to instill fear in someone and make them check that setting, maybe. Um, there's some stuff like, really the biggest advice is consider if this is real or if this is potentially a scam. If it is potentially a scam, that's enough to just avoid it. You can get by without it. Whatever the thing is, attractive as it may be, talking about those sponsored ads on social media and stuff.
Yeah.
If you don't need it, just don't click it. It's there to tempt you, and you're strong enough at this point to resist that temptation.
The old saying still sticks. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah. And another thing is really super simple. Just restart your device once a day, once a week. If you did happen to click something, accidentally, whoops, oh no, mistakes happen. It's not the end of the world. But if you restart your device, you're much more likely to get any of that evil out of your phone or out of your tablet or whatever it is they're using. And it's simple, right? You don't have to be smart to know how to turn your device off, turn it back on. But that is something that can protect you and just give you good, secure data hygiene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good call.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another big one. Well, I guess two more. Sorry, Coral, cut you off.
No, no, no.
QR codes. If you don't know exactly what the QR code is, don't scan it. And something that people maybe don't even think about this, but like I've seen an evolution of these QR scams where they will be posted in the backgrounds of particular areas so that when people go to take a selfie at an airport view, for example, there will be just a piece of paper taped up on the wall with a QR code that your phone may scan, may auto open to a link. You don't know what that link is.
Mm.
It's just as bad as clicking on a banner that says, "I'm evil, download malware." You don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Auto load QR codes. I hadn't heard of that, so I guess that's another thing you can look to
Yeah,
disable.
it's an evolving thing, and how those things show up, like they could come in mail to people who are retired, and it looks like a great deal, and I'm avoiding
Mm.
whatever this scam, this method of using the internet is. I know what I'm clicking on. Well, just because it's in print doesn't mean it's also not a scam.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I forget what my other one was besides the QR
Hopefully,
codes.
hopefully it was bringing back, making sure that people are using strong passwords, right?
Oh, strong passwords is one, but we talked about like sharing passwords, not just sharing passwords, but reusing passwords. Another
Yeah.
big one is your USB cable. That's a data cable. It's not just a charging cable. So don't go plugging it willy nilly into every lamp or charging station you see in a public place. People will infect those lamps.
Yeah.
These dumb devices can actually be pretty smart if you load the right tools on them. And so don't give anybody any freebies. Carry your own charger around that plugs into an AC outlet.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I like a
Absolutely.
lot of messages of come prepared and yeah, bring your own charging cable. Don't trust the things that get sent to you. I always like how we talk about like you said, you're going to get links, whether it's through email or through text, that are sometimes legitimate, but you want to be the initiator of that
Yeah.
communication. And if it just shows up one day and you didn't directly initiate it, so that doesn't mean that you drove through Pennsylvania and then a week later you happened to get a toll message that you didn't know about that you need to pay. You didn't initiate that just because you're Pennsylvania. That's called a scammer that got lucky and you just happened to
Yeah.
be there and they spammed everybody and said, yeah, you were in Pennsylvania, pay this toll. If you didn't know that to expect a message to pay a toll already, then don't trust it.
Yeah, lots of things track your location, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
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 And then try to
Tends to
use
be
that
on by
against you and
default.
scare
And
you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
it's so annoying
Just
how
keep
many
in mind,
things.
I'd say for the elderly folks that you're trying to give advice to, it might help to boost their ego a little bit and let them know you are a prime target. You're maybe the prime target because they know you're not getting these types of, whether it's hardware, software, tools, tips, education, and learning. And also because you've exited the workforce, you've likely made your bundle. You've got what you're going to live on, and they would love to steal that from you. So
Yeah.
treat yourself as a high value target and take all of this stuff seriously. Just
Mm-hmm.
have some vigilance, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. 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 And be aware that phishing is still a thing. It's still very lucrative. It still works. That's why they keep
Mm-hmm.
doing it.
Still the number one point of entry.
Yeah, just looks a little different now than it used to, and that just makes it all the trickier to identify.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
with the
true.
advent of AI and deepfakes, I mean, phishing is really in a scary place these days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and likewise for our youths too, it's like they've got their whole lives ahead of them, and that whole digital profile footprint, like you said, Coral, it's like you just got to be
Yeah.
careful.
Well, and that's the tough part too. I don't think they understand that your information that you're putting out there is going to stay out there. It doesn't go away just because you delete it off of, say, Facebook. Doesn't mean that it's being deleted permanently. There is a permanent record out there. It's a digital record now. That's part of your digital footprint. And so recognizing that, it starts with that. Every time you comment on somebody's post, every time you post something yourself. It keeps track of all of those things, and it doesn't go away. It doesn't
Right.
go away. It's always going to be there.
Yeah, and even thinking about like not wanting to get too scary, but usually people can kind of tag, even if you've changed your username between different sites, there's usually some prevalent trail of who you really are attached to those things.
Yeah.
So the internet's not as anonymous as people sometimes think it is. Usually, if someone is determined to figure out and de-anonymize you, they will.
Yeah.
Motivated attacker can do that.
Yeah.
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 Awesome. Do any other points? Otherwise, some good points to cover. Yeah, if anyone's got questions too for Cory and Coral, you can definitely go check out the blog posts on the FRSecure blog. But I'm sure that you guys would be welcome to answer questions or try to brainstorm solutions to maybe challenges people may run into
Abs-
there.
yeah,
Cool.
absolutely. I know Corey's got some additional resources with his blog. I put additional resources with mine. Take a look at it. If you've got questions, feel free to reach out. We're happy to help.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, we've got a question form on the Unsecurity blog page, and also people can email us at unsecurity@frsecure.com. All should be good ways to get a hold of us.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Well, thank you. We'll wrap up today with gratitudes. Coral, you've done this before. Cory, I don't know if you have, but we like to just thank someone in our lives for anything really. So I don't know, Coral, if you've got anything in mind. Otherwise, I can try to go first. I never plan ahead.
I know I never plan ahead. I totally forgot about this piece of it. What I'm grateful for, people that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the people that we work with. We are all on the same page when it comes to just wanting to do better for the community at large. So I'm really grateful for everybody at FRSecure for getting behind everybody to go ahead and say, "This is great. What you're doing is great. Who you're talking to, the posts that we're making for the blogs." All of that is fantastic. So I'm just extremely grateful for everybody.
I can second that and thank the FRSecure family, especially here recently. Personally speaking, I've been out for a bit due to health stuff, both with me and the family. And it's always been obvious since the day I walked in at FRSecure that this place is different, operates a little bit differently, a little bit better, I would say, than your average workplace. But the support that I've gotten just through these struggles here in the last couple months has been it's been like Grinch like. It feels like my heart is growing 3 times, and it's been cool to feel and experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking of just generically echoing very much the same thing. I think I'm a person who tends to kind of try to do a lot of things on my own and not always think about the other resources that I have available to me. But I am so grateful, whether they're neighbors, helping out, watch the kids, get them from the bus, what have you, other people in my life that when I need help or need someone else to step up and just kind of fill a gap that I can't fill right now, that they're there, recognizing that they're there, whether they're from my meditation group community or Taekwondo community or school community, uh, and within my family. So grateful for all of them and just recognizing and trying to take advantage of that. Awesome. Thank you so much, Coral, Cory, for joining me today. hopefully we'll welcome Brad back again next time. We've got some ideas for guests, a few more podcasts before the end of the year. Thank you so much. And yeah, this will probably just be going a little before Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody that celebrates.
Oh, awesome.
Happy
Thanks for
Thanksgiving.
having me. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Thanks, Megan.
Thanks,
We missed
Megan.
you, Brad.
Appreciate it. Yeah. See you, Brad.